Life Over Coffee. Conversations for transformation.
Hello everyone, Rick Thomas here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm at Life Over Coffee. That's my coffee shop. The street address is lifeovercoffee.com. Check it out. We have fantastic resources, multiplied thousands of resources that are free. All you got to do is go, step inside, and enjoy. I want to share with you day 4 of my book, Living Boldly. By the way, you can get my book at our store at lifeovercoffee.com. But I'm going through all of the 31 devotions in video and podcasts so that you can benefit. Of course, if you want to get the book, that would be most helpful as you can read it, hold it, write in it, etc. And so day 4 is titled, Forget About Self-Esteem. Now this may be an odd title for many of you, especially, we all have grown up in this self-esteem, multiple generations now, and even many Christians believe that this is the path that they should walk in. And so I want to confront a popular, but it is an absolute harmful idea, and that is self-esteem. Our culture teaches that we need to esteem ourselves, that we need to think highly of ourselves. And it is true in a way that you should see yourself as a unique individual created in the image of God. This is what we call the Imago Dei. Self-esteem, however, as the world defines it, it is putting yourself first as number one, in the sense that everybody should look to you and should praise you, cannot be critical of you, think highly of you, and that is a trap that elevates you while it diminishes others. Think about it this way. If everybody adhered to self-esteem, then it would require everybody to think highly of everyone else, which actually is an impossibility. And so this way of thinking actually leads to internal frustration, external pride, ongoing disappointment. And so the verse that I want to share with you is actually a passage in devotion number 4 here. It's Matthew 22, 36 through 40. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. It goes like this: Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law? And Jesus said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And a second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these 2 commandments depend all the law and the prophets. Biblical love for yourself is grounded in humility and wisdom, never devaluing the Imago Dei, and determined to steer away from self-focus. And so we believe in self-worth because God created us. We're made in His image. But self-esteem continues this perpetual of thinking about self. And what we want to do is to steer away from self-focus, and we want to adhere to the 2 great commandments. We love God and love others as we already love ourselves. The assumption is we love ourselves, releasing us to focus on loving God and loving others rather than focusing on loving ourselves and demanding that everyone else loves us too because I need this for my self-esteem. Turning inward, especially during hard times, it will only increase your despair. Biblical success focuses on serving God and benefiting others, not elevating yourself above God and above others. Perhaps you've been tempted toward self-focus because you don't know any other way. That was true for me. I didn't know any other way but to make myself number 1 and everybody else was number 2, 3, 4, and 5. My parents, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but they were inadequate leaders. And they not only were inadequate, but they abused and abandoned me, leaving me to figure out life on my own. I learned to be self-reliant, which seemed like a solution. Nobody else will help me, and so I will focus on myself and I will be all that I can be, but it kept me locked in a self-focused mindset. I became the proverbial dog thrown into a pond. I was told to sink or to swim, Guess what? I swam. But I did so in my own strength, my own independent spirit, my own power, which only deepened my despair. The only outcome for the self-reliant soul is deepening despair because you're not trusting anybody else, not depending on anyone else, and you're only thinking about yourself or esteeming yourself. It wasn't until I was 25 that I learned my best life wasn't found in myself, but my best life now was found in someone else, and his name was Jesus Christ. That was the day that God regenerated me, and I surrendered my life to Him. I soon stopped complaining about my circumstances. I took responsibility for my choices. I trusted Him to change me. I am not suggesting that I have arrived. That's not true. He is still working on me, but there has been this incremental, progressive transformation since the day God regenerated me when I was 25. Submitting to Christ has made all the difference. If you want to find true value, stop trying to lift yourself up and respond to God by giving your life to Christ. He can do for you what you cannot do for yourself. Your worth, your purpose, they aren't found in other people. They aren't found in other people's opinions of you. Your worth is actually found in Jesus Christ, and that is where you want to spend your time focusing, thinking on Him, not controlled by people's opinions or your achievements, but you are controlled and managed by the one who created you. Instead of trying to feel better about yourself by looking inward and demanding validation from others so I can feel better about myself, focus on serving God. Focus on loving those around you. As you pour your life for Christ into others, you will find joy, you will find purpose, you will find fulfillment, the fulfillment that you have been longing for. Seeking satisfaction through any other means will only lead to despair. This is chapter 4 or day 4 from my devotional, From Living Boldly, a 31-day devotional for youth, but as you probably have already discerned, it applies to all of us. Day 4 is titled, Forget About Your Self-Esteem.
Thanks for joining us. Learn more and get access to other resources at lifeovercoffee.com.